And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
All right, good morning, anglers. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, do we have a fun, informational, jam-packed show ahead for you today. In studio, we have legendary captain, I can call him, right? That would be Mike the Beak Hurt. What? Say that again, Ollie?
You said legendary, I said thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got to get your mic going. But, hey, when we come back, as you heard, we've got Ollie Hussany from BD Outdoors, Mike the Beak Hurt, captain, legendary guy. And we're going to be right back. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hard-working crew will make sure your fishing experience is one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day open party trips on the spacious and comfortable Liberty. Since we introduced the full-day trips at Fisherman's Landing, the 85-foot Liberty has become a favorite among full-day operations with bunks for your comfort, huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big modern galley and 2 interior heads with showers. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can easily be booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Get ready for the largest event in our history. Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We'll have great savings from Daiwa on Lexa, Saltus, Saltiga, and the new Tanacom 1200. A fantastic offer on the Proteus rod and SK jigs, too. Over 20 manufacturers reps, including Daiwa, plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, huge raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Up to 60% off. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th.
Want to take your catch from fresh to superior grade? This is Robbie Gant from AFCO. We developed the tools for the EKGMA process. Circuit Breaker is specially designed to disable the full length of the fish's spinal cord. The memory-resistant wire of AFCO Circuit Breaker will not bend or kink even after repeated use. Take your fish care to the next level with Circuit Breaker by AFCO. Available at a dealer near you or check out AFCO.com.
Like Robbie said, take your fish care to the next level with Circuit Breaker by AFCO. Check AFCO.com or your favorite tackle retailer.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And in studio, Rick's got a little cold going, so wanted to step aside for just today. And Brandon Bono's in here. Super cool to be.
I'm fired up to be
right?
here. It's too bad that Ricky had to go down, but I'm happy to fill in for him any old time, and I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, in the world headquarters here, and Pete's down at the 29th annual Rich Top Palmas de Cortez Fall Tournament. Super cool, right?
What a life he lives.
Right?
He goes from one cool thing to the next.
I know.
When I grow up, I want to be Pete Gray from Let's Talk Hookup.
You know what? One of the guys I want to grow up and be is right here, Ollie Hussany. Good morning.
I want to be Pete, man. I'm stuck here. He's down there having a good time.
Appreciate you being in the world headquarters here, along with legendary. I said that earlier, and that's honest to God, legendary status. Captain Mike the Beak Hurt. How you doing?
Good day. No, I'm so sorry I'm not here. I mean, Rick's not here. I was going to beat him up when he was a little kid. He used to bring me donuts and coffee back 1908 when this show first started.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Back in the days where they were on Pacific Coast Highway and ran out of, I think it was a 1090 or 690 at that point, you know.
I think it was 1090.
Yeah. The good old days. Yeah, and that's, 32 years. Isn't that incredible to imagine?
Insane.
Let's talk hookup, right?
That's a run, yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's super cool. So what's going on in the world of Ollie Hussany?
Same old, man, just doing our thing. This is the crazy time of the year. We just got done filming last week, filmed some local fishing here, local tuna, smaller tunas. Unfortunately, the weather wouldn't let us get outside and catch some of those bigger models, but we had a great time, and just the quality of the fish around was phenomenal.
It's been incredible.
No, legitimate 30 to 40 pound yellowfin. We were catching bluefin from like 20 to 60, and then some unbelievable Dorado. Fat, really healthy Dorado too. I think it's a good showcase for our fishery, and this cycle that we're in right now is incredible. And I think the more that we can put the word out and get more people excited about either getting into fishing or getting back out on the water is a good deal for everybody.
Like after last year's Dorado extravaganza, or whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah. All the bluefin showing up for the last 10 years. Could it get any better? And it actually has.
And don't forget swordfish.
Yeah, that's true.
This is one of the best fisheries on earth right now. It's like I used to love to travel to fish, and now I love to be home. This season in particular, it's just been phenomenal. We've had a great season on the bigger kite fish, and then we had about 2 or 3 weeks of foamer fishing. But you think of foamer fishing being 20 to 50 pound fish. These were all like 90 to 130 pound fish.
Really?
Wow. On surface iron gear.
My!
You were in for it. And then the small stuff, which I don't target, a ton. Everybody wants to go get those big ones, but that fishing's been phenomenal. And tomorrow we're going to Tanner and go beat up on some big ones. What more could you want?
Right. That's incredible stuff right there.
It's been another amazing year, and this year got off to kind of maybe a later start than we're so accustomed to because we've been spoiled over the last several years. But right now is some of the best fishing we've had all year, and you can see at the landing. I'm there every evening. We start, kind of dwindling on people, tourists coming from around, and mostly the local guys are filling the boats. But it's kind of a shame. Everybody should be coming down here and taking advantage of what we got going on because the fishing is insane right now.
Yeah, with a day and a half overnight.
Yeah.
Full day trips.
Full day trips, still smashing them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this time of year, if you talk to guys that do this for a living, and I know my Uncle Beak here will agree. Fall is the best time.
It's the best.
All those Arizona people go home, and they're not on the water every weekend out there after Labor Day, and kids are back in school, so the weekend warriors are down. Man, me and my boys, this is the time that we all look forward to. Stable weather, really good fishing. You don't have to look for them as much. You kind of know the big ones are at the Tanner or the island, and that's kind of taking care of itself. This is just a magic time of year, and there's all those other species that I don't chase, but this guy's caught a couple marlin, and this is prime time marlin fishing,
and nobody more excited than Beak himself, right?
Well, this year is a great year for eyeball fish and swordfish.
Yeah.
Now you guys have gotten into the buoy dropping, which I tried to help get people excited about back a long time ago, and finally we cracked the code on fishing deep water swordfish like they have in other places of the world. But there's nothing bigger deal than finding a finning swordfish and getting to bite one and then catching them, which is 50 to 1. But unbelievable excitement for that. And I'm afraid it's becoming a lost fishery. Sight fishing, looking in the binoculars all day long, which it takes to find a fin or two fins just kind of slithering along in the water. And I lived the best of times when it comes to that because sword fishing was my favorite.
Yeah,
I've always been curious about that fishery. That's top of the bucket list for me. To eyeball one, lob a mackerel to it, have it eat it, and then land that. And maybe I've had that opportunity a handful of times in my life and got close once. But how many baits do you think you would have to present to actually get a bite?
I think there's Zane Gray was, like I said, 50 to 1. I think he said in the odds.
Crazy.
But to me, that catching a swordfish from finning sword is way bigger than anything else. The challenge of it, from the gladiator in the sea to getting in the bite in a time when you don't want to bite. Catching them in deep water, catching them at night, to me is still a swordfish, but it's not
the same.
No.
Yeah.
That's incredible for sure. For people who don't know you, Mike, shame on them, right? But you've been a part of the fabric of this fishing community, and I use the term legendary because you truly you're the man. I mean, when it comes to running yachts and hunting down that fish and getting the job done. I mean, for how many years, how many decades have you been a fabric of this community?
Yep, a long time. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
if I look back at decades, that's scary.
Right? But it's real, and you're.
I grew up here in San Diego, third generation of fishing family, so the Bohannon side of the family was pretty involved in sport fishing, and I used to go out there and be an excited deadhead and work on the sport boats. And after Vietnam, I came back and went to school and then became a boat driver. And
that was your passion and love, or was it?
I can't believe how I listened to people in their drudgery of work, and that was, 20-hour days weren't work. It was just getting the job done and too tired to keep going.
Yeah.
And that's the way I felt about it. My office was out there that now I get to see on Nat Geo or the Discovery Channel. I'm like, hey, that's really cool. I mean, the stuff Ollie shows us from his videos and stuff is just amazing. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Oh, that's right. That was my office. But they've come up. I mean, let's talk. I mean, excuse me.
About Ollie?
Oh, Local Knowledge.
Local Knowledge is such a great show. Excuse me. I got my excuses for being brain dead.
Yeah, not at all. Come on now.
But anyway, just to see all that and what we get to see on the ocean.
It's incredible.
And Local Knowledge is such an amazing showcase of so many different fisheries, and it's shot so beautifully and so well done.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan myself.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun, and for us, it's just like, I mean, it's a dream, right? We've got to fish all over the world with all these great captains, make lifelong friends, and just do a lot of cool stuff. And I mean, I don't think any one of us has lost our fire for it. We get fired up, especially going to a new spot, new fishery, learning and meeting the people and all that stuff. We just got back from the Bahamas earlier this year, and I fished all over the place, but the Bahamas is something I've got a little taste of here for a day or two, and we spent 5 days down there, and man, it is the closest thing to Baja on that side of the world.
Really?
Just the freedom. What do you want, a deep drop? Okay, we go 3 miles this way. Oh, you want to go chase tuna and Dorado? Okay, it's 5 miles that way. Oh, you want to snorkel and grab a bunch of conch and, do a barbecue on the beach? Okay, we got that. It is so similar to Baja. Obviously doesn't look the same, but it's really cool. And that's the thing that I love most about Baja is just the freedom. We used to do those trips in the upper sea at Cortez. It'd be like, okay, in the morning we're going to go catch marlin. In the afternoon we're going to go throw service iron for yellows. And then in the evening we're going to go throw service iron for cabrilla. And you could just mix and match and do whatever you wanted. And, man, if you haven't done the Bahamas, that green turtle cay is unbelievable. They've got everything you need there. You can show up with nothing and just see some stuff that you're never going to see on this side of the world.
That's incredible. And they've got it all set up. It's like a full service.
Yeah, it's not like a big Mexico, nothing like you'd see in Cabo. Yeah. Kind of like more like an East Cape type deal, a little more rustic, but great food, great rooms, nice boats, pretty much everything you need. And when you consider where they're at, like it's impressive what they're doing. You're on an island for real in the middle of nowhere, a little strip of sand, and what you can do there is just, it's phenomenal.
What does it take to get there?
Just fly to Miami and then a little tiny puddle jumper.
Wow.
So there's like I've been to actually Bahamas a few times this year by coincidence, but there's little puddle jumpers, decent sized plane, a jet that'll take you from Miami to like Eleuthera is one of the big islands there, or you can go to what's the big one with all the resorts on it? Anyway, there's 5 or 6, decent-sized airports you can catch a real flight out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale. It's not hard. I mean, you go here to Texas on American or something, Texas to Miami, and then jump across.
How cool is that?
Really cool. And for our side of the world, it's just something I don't think a lot of guys out here have experienced.
You get to experience all these cool destinations like you're talking about, and yet we have some of the most incredible, like we've talked about, some of the most incredible fishing in the Bight of California, right? Like literally less than 60 miles from San Diego Harbor. We have...
And that's what everybody that we travel with wants to know about. Like one of the biggest things I get from Florida guys and guys we meet outside of the country is the long range scene. I've never done it. Like I've been on 5 days. That's as long as I've ever been. I've been fortunate enough to do it on yachts, and stuff like that, fish those same grounds. But everybody wants to know about the long range, and everybody wants to know about the bluefin.
Really?
So San Diego's on the map. I don't think that we had that kind of respect from other fisheries for a long time, because I mean this was a 20 to 50 pound tuna game, you know, in yellowtail, and now I think with the bluefin, with the swordfish, you know, everybody knows about what happened during the El Nino, which was really cool. I feel like San Diego's really kind of elevated its status in the world of fishing locations.
How cool is that?
Very cool. I mean, for our hometown, man, what more could you want?
Totally unique worldwide, and certainly the long range. Is there anywhere else in the?
Nowhere.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's a couple trips out of Texas that, you know, they do those 2-day, 3-day tuna trips out to the rigs, but there is nowhere else. And I tell people that all the time. I used to say it like people wouldn't believe me. There's more tuna comes through this port, sport fishing, times 10 than anywhere else in the world. There's nowhere that compares.
And the cool part about it, I mean, I was a part of the bait industry, right? Like catching the bait, and I mean, there's nothing else like that in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like starts with the bait companies, you know, with the bait receivers, and the entire long-range fleet, and all the way from the chef to the captain to the deckhands. I mean, it is like you're saying.
Yeah, when you talk about party boats in other parts of the world, it's not a good thing.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or the term head boat.
Head boat. Yep, exactly. It's not well received, and I've been on some of them, like in Florida and stuff. It's not like what we have here. No. And I try to explain, you know, our base level half day boats are really good, and by the time you get to a long range boat, I mean, these are trained professionals, 5-star chefs, huge staterooms, satellite TV, internet. It's more of a cruise ship, you know, than it is a head boat that people would traditionally think of.
Yeah. Well, as you can hear, we have a really fun show ahead of us today. It's really an honor to have Mike the Beak Hurd in studio in the world headquarters here, and to have Ali Hussany, who's got so many irons in the fire right now with BD Outdoors and local knowledge, and what else you've...
Oh man, I've been running some charters. We got Fish Dope. We got all kinds of stuff cooking. So just having fun, you know, and doing what I love.
Right, and so we've got a really fun show ahead of us today, and got a really cool prize to give away.
Yeah, one lucky caller or texter will win one of the new AFCO reel bags, courtesy of AFCO, and a 1-year membership to fishdope.com.
That's a really cool prize for one lucky caller or texter. And if you want to give us a call, that's at 213-432-1090. If you got a question for Ollie or Mike the Beak Hurd. Or if you want to text us, you can send a message via the app. It's only done through the app, and you can send us a message. You do want to make sure you leave your name and telephone number, because at the end of the show we're going to give the honors to Mike the Beak Hurd, and he's going to flip the coin, decide whether that lucky prize goes to a caller or a texter. And again, I'll give you the telephone number, 213-432-1090, or text us via the app. We're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. It's Let's Talk Hookup on Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
There are certain places on this earth that are very special, and I am blessed to have a fishing lodge in one of them. Hi, this is Valerie Hopridge from Queen Charlotte Safaris in Sandspit, Hawaii, British Columbia, Canada. We are a boutique lodge embarking from the Sandspit Harbor, offering a truly unique fishing adventure. From our fully enclosed cabin boats, untouched, unspoiled fishing grounds, stunning scenery, to the delicious meals, personalized service received throughout your entire trip, we strive to make your adventure an experience that encompasses world-class fishing for Chinook salmon, halibut, lingcod, and so much more. Our goal is to connect you to nature through fishing, and that's just what we do at Queen Charlotte Safaris. You will be greeted warmly and welcomed at our well-appointed lodge. We'll receive you as friends and send you off as part of the Queen Charlotte Safaris family for many years to come. You will come for the fishing. You will come back for the memories. Give us a call at 1-877-815-2892, or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or on our website, qcsafaris.com.
When you want dependable service for your outboard or a new or used boat, your first choice should be H&H Marine at their new location, near where the 5 and 805 freeway meets. North County, Central, or South, the new H&H Marine is near you. They also have added an amazing lineup of boats for both fishing and pleasure cruising, like Barletta and Godfrey pontoon boats and Hurricane runabouts, all on display. Defiance fishing boats and many used boats are available too, along with Yamaha and Mercury outboard sales and service. Speaking of service, Jeff and his crew have you covered. As a factory-authorized Yamaha and Mercury Service Center, H&H Marine will be sure the job's done right. They have Blue Water Bait Tank, both cells and expert installation, as well as Tack-A-Cat inflatables. The perfect tender for your boat. For outboard cells and service, pontoon boats, fishing boats, and bait tank systems, check out H&H Marine at their new location, 10685 Roselle Street in San Diego. Check hhmarinesd.com.
Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Shimano. Come check out the new Shimano Talica A, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. The Talica features Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest loads. When throwing jigs, the Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader for more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations, better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at seaguar.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090. I'm sitting here having a blast with Corey Sandin and Ali Hussany and the legend, The Beak, Mike Hurt. Yeah, we're having fun,
cool
just chit-chatting about fishing.
And just having a good time. And if you want to join us, there's a couple ways to do it. You can give us a call. There's one open line right now, and that's at 213-432-1090, or you can send a message via the app. Text the show. It's just to let you fill you in. It's a one-way message. So you want to make sure you leave your name and telephone number, because at the end of the show, we're giving away a really cool prize.
Do not forget that. You're going to miss out, and it'll be a bummer.
Right? We're giving away one of the new AFTCO reel bags, courtesy of AFTCO, and a 1-year membership to fishdope.com. And the one lucky caller or texter, I can't think of a better gift to have than Fish Dope. And I'll tell you what, I'll share something with you. I went offshore this week, didn't catch a fish, as in rare form, right, or typical fashion. Hey, my 150 Yamaha, I get excellent gas mileage, $200 for what I went and did, $200. How much is a 1-year membership?
Less than that, $169, and that's it, man. Like even if I had nothing to do with it, like if you own a boat, you're spending all that money. I mean, shoot, $200 is like I can't get to a harbor for $200 in my gas burning thing. It's a no-brainer. And don't take me at my word. Ask around, put a post on Bloody Decks, ask if it's worth it. Like, it's just one wrong turn. You can burn $200 of fuel in minutes.
But that's why I bring it up, because I'm very economical. I get 3-point-something miles to the gallon, right?
We're no longer friends.
Right? Exactly.
We can't hang out anymore. I don't like that at all.
Oh, my gosh. So crazy. But just such an affordable deal, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's a good value. And that's everything that we've tried to do over the years, is just bring value, and stuff works out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No question. It's an incredible value. And if you're going out in today's day and age blind with no info, with no fish dope, you're foolish.
Now, you youngsters, come on.
Here we go. Jeez, somebody woke Grandpa up.
I can't even believe it. If you guys can't have your weather apps, your fish dope, and all that, well, I just don't know. But what happened to going out and finding them, smelling them? That's why they have me being the Beak, a big nose to go be able to find them. But I do really worry about too many followers and not enough finders. But,
that's true. And, I mean, that's coming from a man with more knowledge than all of us put together, right?
Well, we didn't have all that fancy, so I guess I'm jealous, because we'd go out and just look at the flags and go, oh, it's going to be a shitty day today.
Yeah, but I bet you that you did have your network. You had a handful of people that you communicated with and got great intel, and even if it was not what you wanted, it gave you a good indication of where you weren't going to go.
Absolutely, got it from anyone I could, and it was, come in from being on the water, getting on the landline. So we'd be sitting there burning up calls. And asking anybody who had been out on the water. It didn't matter if it was a sailboater or anything. What did you see? It's not that they're maybe looking for what I'm looking for, but what did you see? Tell me anything that you saw. You see any birds? See any, pelicans or any seagulls? All the information. Back in the abalone days, guys coming back and forth between the islands. Go down there, and when they come in and find the dope, get a feeling.
There it is right there. You said the key word. You got doped up right there with the information.
Anyway.
But that's why we pay $169 to have.
It is too easy. That's my point.
We're doing the same thing, too. I mean, we talk to we've got 2 reporters, and that's all they do is talk to everybody that we'll talk to them. Sport boat captains, private captains. We got guys that run people back and forth to San Clemente. They stumble across them all the time. We got a couple of Navy helicopter pilots that report
Come
in.
on.
It's too easy. This is not fair.
Yeah, we have our own spotter plane, and this season, man, we've been flying 3, 4, 5 days a week. I mean, we're staying with them. So anywhere we can find, that information, and by any way, we're going to go get them. Our guys are listening to the radio all day and hearing what the private boaters are doing, and it's a lot of work. Thankfully, I don't have to do that job because I would be terrible at it. I have the attention span of a gnat, but we've got some guys that are on it, and man, they enjoy it. It's just like Beak was saying, finding that fish. Like I get great satisfaction of finding them. Well, these guys are kind of doing the same thing. They're figuring out what's going on that day and where it's at. And Danny and Alex and those guys, they geek out on it, and they're the right guys for the job.
They must do an incredible job because, no exaggeration, I fish 2 or 3 days a week, every week, all year, and I several times I was out there fishing, thought I had found a little nugget to myself, a little zone to myself, and caught them, and then find out that evening it's on Fish Dope. They knew all about it.
How crazy is that?
There's no secrets anymore, whether for good or for bad. There's no secrets. Everybody knows what's going on, and between the Zolios and the Starlinks and all of that stuff. I mean, when I'm fishing myself, I'm reporting in every time I get a bite, and we've got those Zolios. And if you don't have one of those things, man, that's a game changer. Being able to send a text message instantly from the water, not just to check in with the wife, but we don't talk on the radio at all. These old guys sitting next to me, they had all these scramblers and tinfoil hats and secret
code
antennas
words.
And all this crazy stuff. And it's like
that was after we got radios.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool having you in studio, Beak, and lines are full.
All right, let's take a call. How about Jeff in Torrance? How you doing this morning, Jeff?
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, good morning to you, Jeff. How you doing? Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, right on. Well, what a panel this morning. The Beak, with this marlin knowledge, and all you guys. My question is, for my 100-pound setup for the bigger bluefin, what do you guys recommend for length of leader?
It's a good question. I bet you Ollie's got you covered right here.
Yeah, it's funny. Something just came up on Facebook about this the other day. How much mono do you use to catch a bluefin? I'm like, dude, put that stuff back in the Beak's tackle box. Old metal, rusty heat. This is not a mono game anymore. And I think I know Ricky would agree with me, but we're 30 feet. I make my own wind-ons at home. You get 100 feet out of a pack. I get 3 wind-ons out of it, and I don't fish bait a lot like you guys do. I'm usually fishing heavier stuff. So for me, my kite's at 200, and then I do keep 30s with 100-pound or 130-pound on them for Mad Max, and those are sort of my versatile rig. Big fish around, we'll do the sinker rig on that. But yeah, 30's the number. And these guys, you need the stretch of mono. Take a brand new 200-pound wind-on or 130-pound wind-on, tie it off to something, and pull on it with your own body weight. You will see how much fluoro actually does stretch. There's probably 3 feet of stretch in a 30-foot wind-on. Using mono is like pulling against a rubber band, in my opinion. It's just not something you need anymore.
That's a great question, but somewhat loaded. For speaking from a tackle monkey like myself, who does it all day, every day, I would say a lot of it depends on what you're doing with your 100-pound rod. And if you're fishing a sinker rig or a knife jig, there is a scenario in which a fella might like some monofilament. I personally don't. I don't think it's the most optimal way of presenting your lure. But when it comes to that knife jig, a little bit of stretch does help, and fluorocarbon, depending on the manufacturer, does stretch. But if you're fly lining a bait with 100-pound, it's hard to make an argument that straight spectra to a small piece of fluorocarbon isn't the most effective way to present a bait with heavy line like that.
I was on this show just a few decades ago, it seems, when I was promoting spider wire.
Yeah.
And that was the original Spectra in our community, and everybody fought me on it. Only people who trusted me tried it, and how many failures there was with it in the beginning. We were blowing fish on too much drag, not allowing for the lack of stretch. We had to change our game, just like with circle hooks. We tried to make circle hooks such a huge... How do you figure out exactly how to tie them or exactly how to set the hook, especially when it came to billfish? I just look back, oh, gee, I feel dated when I say that, but it was a big fight, especially in the sport boat community, the head boat community, because the crews had to deal with tangles all the time. Yeah. And that was like dealing with razor blades in your hands versus mono. Sure. So I'm sure there's a lot of changes that I have not appreciated and how it's all been accepted. Like you're saying, straight Spectra is the common thing.
And I mean, and I think you'd probably agree, in my lifetime, the single biggest innovation in fishing has been braided line.
Huh. How about that?
It's changed everything.
You look at the size reels that you get to fish with now, because they've increased the capability of the drag systems, because you don't need the line capacity. You got a smaller reel. I look at what he fishes, rock cod. You got to go rock cod fishing with me. I want an electric reel. Come on.
Yeah. We've got those.
Yeah, but he's got these tiny little reels that he drops down there 1,000 feet and thinks it's fun.
And I think a lot of these whippersnappers don't know that a 50 wide is called a 50 wide because you used to fill it with 50-pound mono.
Hey, I got some 130s for sale, by the way.
Oh, man. I mean, can you imagine a 50 wide reel? You can, but I mean, that's
a small one,
yeah, full of 50-pound mono on that giant reel,
and cast it on swordfish.
That's crazy. Yep. Absolutely crazy.
Incredible stuff. Yeah. I've got a text here, and thank you for texting the show. Comes from Eric. And we'll actually have him in studio tomorrow. Eric and Cal from Cal's Custom Reels. And Eric this morning says, right, isn't that cool? Says, good morning, guys. I attended the War Heroes on Water Party, the WOW event. Saw Mike the Beak there. Can he tell us what the event means to him? And he says, thanks again.
You know, that's funny. We just mentioned 50 international casting for swordfish.
Yeah.
His dad designed a caster for me, a 30 and a 50 castable international.
Incredible.
Completely designed to catch swordfish. So, yes, they've been such a big part of innovating tackle in the whole industry. And
for decades.
Yeah, they pushed pin right into 2 speeds and back in the day and stuff. So
yeah.
It was great to see you, too, at the War Heroes on the Water event, which is such a great event. You heard us talking about it on the show when you had Rod and people calling in. I get to be an ambassador for that event, a founder, a captain, but I can't captain anymore, so it's just my good looks. They have me hanging out there, but
well worth it.
It's so rewarding. It's hard to talk about. It's so emotional, and Leslie.
All the big guys involved, right? But it's bringing in wounded warriors.
They're the real warriors, and
yes.
they're not just vets. Not to take away from that, but these guys, they're challenged a lot physically. A lot of them don't have all their body parts, or they're blown up in other parts.
Missing limbs.
Yeah, a lot of seriousness. In the Freedom Alliance, who Anthony Shea is worked up this relationship with, reaches out to guys and tries to find them in the community that maybe are struggling, maybe having some issues, and so bring them into these kind of programs. And this is the biggest event they have for it. Raised over $1 million here. Was $1.25 million?
It was like $1.3 million or something they raised in a long weekend.
Yeah. So you're saying the largest event in the United States that happens here in Southern California?
This is the largest WOW. WOW is the name of it.
Wounded Warriors on Water.
Yeah, that's and you can look it up and see some of the videos and stuff. It's great stuff. I know Ollie tried to get in there and do some stuff here this year. He's too busy, but it's an event that more and more people are trying to support, and it's a very, very challenge event for the people who donate their boats, the crews. Like my son fishes it every year. He fished with the winning boat last year. You talk about small tuna. I'm sitting in Avalon, not having to work on boats 24 hours a day, because it's a real hard workout, because there's so many different varieties of fish included in the little tournament.
Okay.
So you can catch calico bass, but on the point spreads, it can be of value compared to a 200-pound tuna.
Is that right?
So big fish doesn't necessarily win. And he was all bummed out because all we were catching is 30-pound, 40-pound yellowfin, bluefin, all you wanted. Released it, and I go, God, can you imagine 3 vets hooked up all day long on that size fish? I think that's more exciting than pulling on one 200-pound fish unless you want a trophy.
No, I agree, and we lose sight of that. We get so busy because, we talk about all the time. There's a ticking clock in the back of my brain right now. It's ticking, and it's like these fish are going to go away. Get in there, get as much of it as you can, and so we get so laser focused on that. And then you take guys, and they don't have to be veterans. You just take people who've not really experienced the fishery, and you let them pull on some of those 20 to 40-pound fish. I mean, the guys I took yesterday, trip of a lifetime. That's the best day I've ever had on the water. I'm like, we kind of do this, 5 days a week.
Like I'm sorry we didn't get anything larger.
Right? I think you get jaded quick, especially with as good as the fishing's been. And man, I mean, some of that stuff, you're making lifelong anglers, and I know those War Hero guys, they're going back out. They're so fired up and stoked. It's just such a great deal. And my family's got a very strong, my mom was a Navy brat. My uncle was a Marine. Like, I've got a strong military background, and anything that has anything to do with the military, we're there. We're in. We try to support as best as we can.
Yeah, keep an eye on this for
next year and
be part
future
of
events.
The auction and donating. They need boats every year because it's such a hard workout. It's hard to recover the next year.
And there's more wounded warriors that want to come attend. They need the boats, right?
We had 150 rep and 50 boats. We had a little fallout there at the end. Boat problems, but boy, I tell you what, I don't know how they can get that many more. They do such an unbelievable good job. They've got this thing figured out. Rod Halpern has really helped. Of course, Anthony's overviewing and what he does for these vets is amazing.
It is.
Yeah, it's super incredible, man.
Oh, I mean, the flyby, you got to look at it on the whatever.
On the interweb, right?
And if you do want to get involved, Rod can always use more boats. That's all. When I say, hey, what can we do? It's like, we need more boats. They got veterans lined up. So if you want to get involved, you got a little bit of a bigger boat. Reach out to Rod. You can find War Heroes on the Water on Instagram. Find them on the web. Those guys will absolutely love to have your support. And if you want to get involved from a corporate level, I mean, you just want to do something that feels good, man. Reach out to Rod. He's the guy over there. He'll get you dialed in.
How cool is that?
It needs so much of these guys, and so I thank all the people who will be involved in it and continue to stay involved in it.
It's a very, very special thing, and hey, we're going to be right back. More of this great information and having the legend in here, Beak himself, along with Ali Hussany when we return on Let's Talk About the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern. We are pulling out all the stops on this one. Over 20 manufacturers reps like Shimano and Power Pro. Check it out. All the Shimano and Power Pro product we have, like the new Talica 12 and 16A series. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and a Shimano Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skill. You'll see Shimano Terramar is the perfect rod to handle tough fish. The secret is TC4 blank construction. Match your Shimano Terramar rod with a Shimano Tranks 500 reel. Shimano's X-Ship and HEG technologies in the Shimano Tranks combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth and effortless retrieve. It's our biggest sale of the year, Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 4th.
Your vacation bucket list can't be completed without visiting the Katmai Lodge, Alaska this summer. A world-class wilderness fishing paradise on the banks of the famed Alagnak River. Get in the action, fishing for all 5 species of Pacific salmon, king, sockeye, chum, coho, plus trophy-sized rainbow trout, Arctic grayling and Dolly Varden, both in the Alagnak and nearby waters. Katmai Lodge's Coast Guard and CPR-certified guides are fly fishing fanatics and know how to help you reel them in, ensuring your days are fish-filled while you enjoy freshly prepared snacks and barbecued lunches on the river. Back at the lodge, enjoy fireside appetizers and refreshments each afternoon. Delicious dinner prepared by the lodge's exceptional chef. Take a quick fly-out trip to Brooks Falls in Katmai National Park for world-renowned bear watching. And check out our trout fishing specials at katmai.com. That's KATMAI.com. Katmai.com.
This is Art Taylor of Searcher Sport Fishing. Join Captain Mike Totter, Chef Josh Evans as a new era begins for Searcher Sport Fishing. Mike and Josh will continue the legacy of excellent customer service, fantastic food, and an amazing crew. Book your fishing adventure now online at searchersportfishing.com or call Celia at 619-226-2403. Searchersportfishing.com, 619-226-2403.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090. We're having a great time here in the studio, talking with Ali Hussany and Mike the Beak Hurt. We're waiting on some text to come through via the app, and the phones are lit up right now. We do still have one line open, so go ahead and fill that up. But
well, that's at 213-432-1090 if you want to give us a call there, or like you said, Brandon, text the show via the app, only done through the app. Make sure you leave your name and telephone number. We're giving away a really cool prize, too.
Yeah, one lucky caller or texter will win one of the new AFCO reel bags, which I know we're sold out of in the tackle shop there. And
oh, you did? You got them in and they're gone?
Oh, they're gone. Yeah, they're super popular, very well designed. And that lucky caller or texter will also receive 1-year membership to fishdope.com. And we just discussed what a value that is. Way better value if you get it for free. So call, text,
right.
Send it on in.
That's a great package for sure. And why don't we go ahead and jump in?
Yeah, let's talk to Rich in Camarillo. How you doing this morning, Rich?
Good morning, Rich. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Very good show. I was wondering, how long does braid last? When should you think about replacing it?
Good question. What do you think, Holly?
I don't.
You don't replace it?
No, I mean
no need unless it's all frayed and
unless it gets rubbed up on the bottom of the boat or something like that. And I think braid has a way of releasing itself in several different manners when things go sideways. That's the one thing. We fish Seaguar braid, that thread lock, and I'm a braid geek. I like to splice it and do all that stuff myself. And the thing I love about it the most, from my 50-pound stuff all the way to my 200, is you have a technical malfunction, we'll say, on the boat, and you lose a bunch of braid. We can just splice in a new section, and it takes me 2 minutes and fill that reel back up, and you're not wasting that braid. Yeah.
And that stuff is very high quality line, but coming from somebody who probably fills 100 miles of braided line in a given year,
like maybe in a given week,
and I see it come from every corner of the country and come in on every form of reel. You know when your braid is going bad when it starts to stink. It'll smell like rotten eggs. Because it is biodegradable, it will start to kind of rot, and you can smell it. And unfortunately, on a nightly basis, I smell some stank braid, and we always tell the customer it's time to buck up and fill this thing with new braid.
That from not washing it, or I've honestly never had a situation where I'm like, this stuff's wore out. It's all, and we pull on it and do all that.
It's just a matter of just time and being wet, and then a lot of guys, like you said, come from Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and
Can you imagine that being in their hot garage?
2-3 times a year they go fishing. The Spectra itself gets wet. It goes in the hot garage and it stays there for the better part of 15 years, and then it just starts to degrade over time, which it's naturally supposed to. Then it's time to give up on it and get some new braid.
Wow.
What do you think, Beak?
Early on, we used to reverse it every year or so. Do you find that to be worthwhile?
We used to do that quite a bit. Back to what we were talking about earlier. I started at Fisherman's Landing Tackle Shop just over 15 years ago, and when I first started working there, like you were saying, it was braided line was hated. Spider wire was despised. Our little sport boat little community just really didn't like it. And when a guy came in to have us fill their braid, it was kind of we would really encourage. It was encouraged to us to encourage them to let's get you a long monofilament top shot, very, very long. But I'm sorry, I forgot the initial question.
About reversing it.
Yeah, about reversing it.
So, I mean, when it would get damp or, and drying it out, you can't really do it, but we would reverse it to give it a little bit, smell, I guess, is something that does indicate.
During that time, that was a service we often did for guys. We had this big contraption that we would reverse braid with, and we still have the capability of doing that in the tackle shop. But a lot of times, if your braid is going rot or it's yellowing and it's starting to go south, the stuff on the bottom is all mashed up and curly cued, and
compacted. Really,
it kind of rotted from the top down. So when you start seeing it just start to smell,
just replace it.
Yeah, it's time.
Just replace it.
Well, I used to say, monofilament type days.
Yeah.
Line is the cheapest connection to a fish. Now I'm not so sure you can say that.
Well, and it truly, so even the Spectra prices can get expensive, but when you look at the price of fuel, you look at the price of going out and taking the boat out or jumping on a day-and-a-half trip or full-day trip, it's a relatively inexpensive part of.
I mean, you go buy a couple big reels over there next door and have them fill them, and that price of that braid
it goes up.
It's stunning, but yeah, in the scheme of things, it is not big money. Dude, as far as I'm concerned, tackle failures, not acceptable, right?
Yeah.
All a tackle, I mean, there's enough bad stuff's going to happen without you stacking the deck against yourself by using crappy line, old leader, whatever that may be. But it's shoot, just to get out and go fish for a day, it's a couple of grand, on my boat. And to not be prepared with having fresh braid or good wind on or whatever, that's the only thing I get mad about. Pulled hooks, it happens. There's just nothing you could do about it. A crimp failing, oh my gosh, you want to see me lose my mind and start throwing stuff on my boat? That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
And wind-ons. I don't trust a wind-on that I don't make myself or Rush made it or my buddy Brett makes it. That's the only... dude, I've had store-bought wind-ons that are great and have no issues. And then last year, I had a guy came on my boat, had a wind-on that looked great and all that, and we lost a 200-pounder right next to the boat when the serve failed. And I'm like, there's my reminder for the next decade.
And had that happened with you making it, it would have been on you, right? I mean, if it did, and the fact that it was somebody else doing it just didn't.
And I feel like I'm totally jinxing it right now, but that just that does not happen. We just, if it's not right, it's not.
Yeah.
If that knot doesn't feel right, cut it. If it doesn't feel right the 14th time, cut it and retie it.
You just don't know who else is tying it.
Yeah.
And what. They're not doing it for themselves. They're just doing it for per hour or something.
Rich brought up a great question, and thank you for the call, Rich, from Camarillo, man. It opened up a whole door, right? I mean, it's a real deal issue, and why don't we go ahead and take another one?
Let's talk to John in Escondido. Good morning, John.
Hey, John. Appreciate you joining us. Yeah, I think think he's listening to the radio. Why don't we go ahead and take another one, Brandon?
How about we do, let's talk to Dave in Anza. How you doing this morning, Dave?
Good morning, Dave. Appreciate you joining us, Dave.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm really enjoying the show there. Hey, I want to put a little heads up out there. Let's Talk Hookup. We have our 2-day trip aboard the Liberty leaving a week from Monday. I'll be repping the show on that trip. We have a lot of giveaways. But normally the fish processors are not open in the evening. And I've been dealing with one of them. They said if we get enough reservations in, they will be available to take care of our fish when we get in on Wednesday evening. So I'd like to give out my name and phone number because I've been dealing with the processors directly. And if you can give me a call, I would sure like to let them know we have enough people so that they will be available and take care of our fish. Once again, this is Dave. My number is 619-562-2085. Give me a call. Leave me a message if you have to, and I'd sure like to be able to call them and say we've got enough and we can be taken care of when we get in a week from Wednesday. And once again, my number is 619-562-2085.
Oh, perfect, Dave. Yeah, and that the way the fishing's been, man, there's been some. I think you're in for a great time, huh?
It's one of the many curse of successes. That the fish processors are overloaded, overfull. That's how good the fishing is. And the Liberty has been doing such a great job all year, and what a great boat. And I'm a big fan of Dave, and I'd hop on that trip if I have the time off.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time for sure, Dave, and appreciate you giving out your name and telephone number for anybody that wanted to participate, for sure. Again, your telephone number.
Yes, 619-562-2085. Give me a call, and I'll get with those processors, let them know that we want them to be there for us.
There it is. All right. Thank you for the call, and I hope you guys have a good time on the Liberty for sure, Dave. And I want to remind you about Dana Landing on Mission Bay. It's your one-stop shop for everything you need to go fishing. Complete saltwater tackle shop, a full deli, snacks, beverages, ice, and boating supplies. For all your freshwater and saltwater tackle needs, visit East County Bait and Tackle, plus the new Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle. All stores are fully stocked with the products you know and need for a successful time on the water. Dana Landing, right next to the launch ramp across from SeaWorld in Mission Bay, and East County Bait and Tackle is at the end of the 67 freeway, Mapleview and Lakeside, and Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle is on Broadway and Lemon Grove. And for all of that, you can check DanaLanding.com for more information. Again, DanaLanding.com. Texts have been flowing in like crazy. Do you have one here?
I have a great one.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
Selfishly, I want to ask this one because I want to know the answer to this particular question.
Yes.
But we've had incredible texts flowing through. But here's one from Dale in Santee. It says, "Hi guys, great show. My question is for Ollie. You have fished bluefin on both the East Coast and the West Coast. Have you picked up any techniques back east that have helped you back at home?"
That's a good question.
That is a good question. We did the PEI thing for several years, and we tried to do it fish out of Cape Cod. They weren't biting, but they were eating the bronze anchovy pretty good that day, and we did that on the show. It was awesome. Man, all that stuff crosses over. A lot. The PEI guys, I mean, that's a different game, right? You're basically feeding them right next to the boat. But we do use the kite there. Suspend a bait from the kite is deadly. Sinker rigs. I mean, I kind of feel like bluefin wherever you catch them. I had a really interesting experience this season where I've been working with Rapala developing a new lure, and they brought their lead designer out, a guy from France, and he catches he's a bluefin dork in the Mediterranean.
Really?
And it
all crosses over.
It was one of those days where we all know it. Bluefin are being bluefin, and I like to call them a different word. It drives me insane, right? We're seeing them, they're breezing, they're shining, they're doing all, and you cannot buy a bite. And I'm like, we're just comparing notes. I go, do they get this way? Oh, yes, they very much. I'm like, no kidding. And then he saw a California flyer, and he's just like, jaw hit the ground. Yeah. Will they eat this? I go, oh yeah, they smoked that thing. And he just was blown. I sent him home with a California flyer.
Okay.
I sent him home with some of the little metal lures that we like to use, to catch them when they're foaming. And it was really interesting. Same fish, other side of the world, same behavior. I go, do you get days where you see them and, for all day long and you can't get a bite? Oh yeah, all the time. They're not doing the kite thing. Okay. They're dragging spreader bars. They're casting, a lot of casting when they can cast to them, and using the big trolling lures, that kind of stuff. But the kite thing for them was totally new, so we're trying to set something up next summer for us to go over there, take all of our kite gear, and
film some stuff,
a bunch of California flyers and dead flyers, and go over there and maybe see if our tricks work on the other side of the world. So if we can put that together, I'll be very, very stoked.
How cool is that?
Did they eat flying fish in all three locales?
Dude, I personally think that fish is genetically programmed to eat a flying fish.
Is that right?
Like I'm genetically programmed to eat a taco. Like you put a taco in front of me, probably going to get eaten. And I think with the flying fish, it's the same thing. I think it's like, evolution for years and years and years. They see those wings, they know that's something that they want to eat, and they smash it.
They just can't handle staying away.
I just think I think it's in their DNA.
I'll tell you. I mean, as I mentioned, I dabble in the offshore thing, taking the Parker out, having a good time in the bay boat. And, I have success here and there. I set out with just the popper thing. Like, that's my gig. If I get them, I'm stoked. If I don't, well, nobody to blame but myself, right? Yeah. So I have never seen the bluefin blow out and the flying fish thing, I'll admit.
Oh, my gosh.
But I love the damn topwater thing, right? Yeah. Like, I would love at some point to see. It's not something I want to set out and do on my own, but I would love to see that at some point.
Oh, it's all about the bite.
Yeah.
The rest is labor. That's why it's been so good. Like running some charters, getting guys out there that are excited to catch their first one, and I got some clients and all. I don't want to pull on that thing. Are you kidding me? That's a lot of work, and I'm very lazy. Like no, the bite is where it's at. And that what you made a good point. There's a lot of crossover between the bass dorks and the popper guys.
Yes.
It's the same thing, just bigger. All of my bass buddies, they're out there when those yellowfin get close and they don't want to mess with bait. I think it's very similar to what you guys do. It's just a bigger fish, and it crosses over. Just like it cracks me up. All these bass guys have discovered this amazing cabrilla fishery in the Sea of Cortez.
Right, exactly.
We've been doing that for 30 years.
Exactly.
It's just a bigger, badder calico.
And that's where my heart and passion lies.
Totally.
In that whole, from that style to the popper fishing, and it's so cool. Hey, I want to remind you too that this portion of the show is sponsored by Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charts. Focus your fishing on the most productive areas by using Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature, chlorophyll, currents, and more. With Terrafin Mobile, you can access your charts on the phone or on any mobile device. Check terrafin.com for more information. And we've got Mr. Luke Burson on hold from the Orange County CCA who wants to promote a golf tournament. Good morning, Luke.
Good morning. Boy, do you have a room full of talent with you today.
Yeah, well,
good morning.
I feel fortunate to be a part of it. How about that?
Well, with Brandon and Mike and Ali, there probably isn't a question will be asked that can't be answered with a lot of history behind it. Sorry to hear that Rick isn't feeling well, but hey, my reason for calling is real simple. I'm involved with the Orange County chapter of CCA, and our major fundraising event is a golf tournament at the end of October 27th, at the Costa Mesa Country Club. It's our third annual golf event. The prior events have been incredibly successful, and we need some more golfers. We're a little short on our golfers. This event, sole purpose is to raise money to put into the CCA coffers so the state board can use those funds to fight the many battles and initiatives that are important to all of us. I think everyone knows there's only 2 paid positions in CCA California with Wayne and Chris, and the rest is all volunteer. And at the chapter level, our mission is simple: find members and raise money so the purpose of CCA can be achieved in California.
Yeah, very well said, Luke. And again, the tournament itself is October 27th, and it's going to be held where? And how does one get involved? Do they call you or?
Oh, it couldn't be more simple. It's the Costa Mesa Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
And on the CCA website, which for those that don't know, it's ccacalifornia.org. And under events, which is in the banner, you click on that, and the first thing that comes up is the 2023 golf event. And you bring up that page. It has the details. You add to your cart just like you're buying a jig somewhere, either a foursome or a single. A foursome is $800. A single is $200, and we'll pair you with others. Then you just add it to your cart and check out. It couldn't be easier. And the other part about this tournament that just makes it a hoot is every hole is sponsored by some organization related to the industry. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing is sponsoring a hole. Hogan's is sponsoring a hole. Akuma, Shimano, Pure Fishing, PCS Magazine, Balboa Angling Club sponsoring a hole. And on those holes, and there's more than that, there's a fun event. So as you're playing golf, you get to do some other cool things along the way. And at times, I know fishermen, aren't always golfers, but the request would be is, as a CCA member, if you give fish to people that love your fish and always want to figure out a way to repay you, and they're golfers, ask them to play in this event, because that will support our interest, our hobby, our passion. So we need some golfers.
Yeah, very well said for sure. Luke, we're running short on time, but definitely happy we got it in here. And, sounds like a fun deal for sure. So they go to ccacalifornia.org and click on the tag right there for a golf tournament, correct?
It's that easy. It's that easy.
Oh, well, we appreciate you calling in and spreading the word for such a killer organization, and the donations are needed, and they fight for our cause to do everything from our bluefin fishery to rockfish to anything we do as an outdoorsman here in California and Beak.
Real quick, thanks for what you're doing, Luke. And these events are really good for fundraising, but I've been a part of a lot of organizations over the years, and one of the things that was really important it was getting membership. The fee helps pay for different things, but it's the membership, the numbers. If you can have a lot of numbers, you have clout, and you can get things done better when you can say, hey, I've got 2 million voters here that I represent. So join in this organization for $25 a year. It's not the money, but it's your name on the list.
And the power that comes with it. And with CCA, we're talking CCA California, but CCA California is tied into the national organization that is all, like you're saying, it's an army for sure. And hey, listen, that's well word said, Luke, and go to CCACalifornia.org to be a part of the golf tournament. And we're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. We're at the top of the hour. I can't believe an hour has already gone by. We're going to be back with Ali Hussany from PD Outdoors and the legend Beak himself when we return on Let's Talk Hookup at the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have two goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service both before and after the sale. It doesn't matter if you're looking to upgrade your current batteries tomorrow or a year from tomorrow. We're here to answer your rigging questions to get everything set up right the first time. Find us online at norsklithium.com. That's NORSK lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood and have Nick Wayne walk you through why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts and over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Seagar, United Composites, Power Pro, Shimano, and Olakai. Don't miss all the great seminars, the huge raffle to benefit Rollo Kids, the popular casting contest, and of course, the huge sale. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th.
Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore, thanks to the Dana Wharf's Kids Club. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing invites all anglers 12 and under to join the Kids Club today. Membership includes over $100 of really cool stuff, like 2 free fishing trips, whale watch trip, as well as a free Dana Wharf Kids Club hat or t-shirt. Log on to the website, danawharf.com, or visit them in Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County.
If it was possible to improve near perfection in a lever drag saltwater reel, Shimano is the company that can do it. Introducing the all-new Telica 12A and 16A 2-speed lever drag reel. These new Telica reels raise the bar of Shimano's flagship reel again with ultra-smooth reeling and powerful drag performance to conquer long battles with trophy game fish. The addition of Shimano's innovative Infinity Drive technology leverages a new drag design to increase drag force to produce up to 30% lighter rotation during tough battles. The new generation of Telica now features X-Protect technology to boast high-level water resistance in vital areas. These new Shimano reels feature a Haganey body made of highly rigid aluminum to reduce the reel's overall weight. The palming side plate is an additional 6% smaller than the previous generation. Push the limits. Shimano's all-new Telica 12A and 16A reel. Available at your local Shimano dealer.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.